After you multiply, you what?
Minus.
Minus or subtract. Then the next thing is draw a line. Draw a line. After you draw the line, you do the minus. Do the minus. Okay? After you do the minus, what do you do next? You divide, right? After you divide, if according, we're writing this formula according to what is here. If you cannot, if it cannot be divided, it cannot be divided, what do you do? If it cannot be divided, you put a point, right?
Yes.
After you put the point, then if the number has a decimal, if the number has a decimal point, if the number has a decimal, right? If it has decimal, you put an equal sign. Okay? After you put the equal sign, you do what? You move the decimal one step to what? To the right. Okay? And what do you do next? Once you have moved it one step to the right, you divide it. Okay? Then when you now finally successfully divide, you multiply. Okay? After you multiply, then what do you do next? You put the minus sign. Okay? So when you put the minus sign, what do you do next? Draw a line. Draw line. Okay? After you draw a line, you now do the minus, because it's a doing. You do the minus. The next thing is you do what? Divide, right? And then after you divide, what do you do? Add 0. It's a long step, right? That's why it's called long division. After you add 0, what do? You divide. After you divide, you multiply, or you say you times, right? Multiply. After you multiply, you minus. After you minus, draw a line. This is minus, means minus sign. You put the minus sign. Then you draw a line. After you draw a line, then you minus. So this will apply to this huge number. Okay? Sometimes the formula, the steps may only stop somewhere here, depending on the number. If the number is very small, it stops here. If the number is huge, it just keeps going, depending on how big the number is. Okay? All right. Now, let's. The next thing is we need a sheet. We need another sheet of paper. Okay. We need an empty sheet of paper where we do our counting, our work, right? Okay. All right. Just leave the horse alone. If not, it will kick us, and we'll be crying like little children here. Okay. Now, here we do our counting. Okay. All right. Let's start the business. Now, this is the question, right? Following the formula, which is here. following the formula here. The first step is you divide. Okay, so let's divide together.
10 divided by 678.2.
Now you come up with 678, right? First of all, in a 678.2, for a layman's understanding, you have to break it down. Okay, that means you have to count this number up to 678, which is going to fill the whole of this book. Okay, but we don't want to do that. We want to reduce it by representing 1 for 100. Look at number 1 for 100, number 1 for 100, number 1 for 100, another number 1 for 100. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Number 1 for 100, number 1 for 100, making 100 6 times 1. This is 600. 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700. How many times? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Did a mistake. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay? Alright. Now we have 100. This is 600. Now we need to break this 600 into tens, because you need 10 to go into this 100, right? So let's break this 100 into tens. 1, 2, this is 1, 10, 2, 10, 3, 10, 4, 10, 5, 10, 6, 10, 7, 10, 8, 10, 9, 10, 10, 10. All right? So we have 10, 10. So this one represents this line. So we need to get the next tens for this line, this line, this line, this line, this line. Okay? So we'll just write it without writing the 10 on top. Okay? Just have it in your mind that it's all 1 tens. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay? That is covers the second line. Now the third line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's the third line. Now the fourth line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, fourth line. Now the fifth line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So it covers the whole line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So this is the whole of this now is all 10 tens, making 600. Okay. Now here we still have 78.2. We have done with 600. Remain 78.2. Okay. So we count up to 70. We're supposed to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 up to 70. It's going to take us a long time, but we don't want to take a long time. Okay, so we break it down into 1, 10, 2, 10, 3, 10, 4, 10, 5, 10, 6, 10, 7, 10. That makes it 70. All right, but we still have 8.2. So our remainder, that means the tens enters 70. How many times? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Enters it 7 times. There's a remainder 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.2. Okay, we do nothing to the remainder now. If this remainder shows up in our work later, then that means we are right on course. Okay, all right. Now let's see. Let's continue. Now we have it enters 7 times, right? The 70 it enters 7 times, and the 600 it enters. How many times did we count? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55. Continue.
56, 57, 58, 59.
So it enters 660 times, right?
Yes.
Now you take this 60 times, okay, and add it to the 7 times, right? So bring it out. 60 plus 7, or 60 plus 7, okay? Put the line and add. 0 plus 7 is what?
7.
Good. Then 6 plus empty space is what?
6.
We finally got it. That it enters 678.267 times. But there's a remainder. That means we're not done. Okay? So let's go here and put in our 67. 10 goes in here 67 times, right? So what do we do next? Let's check our step. We're done with step 1, which is divide. Step 2 says multiply. So let's multiply. What are you multiplying?
67 times
10, right? 67 times 10, right? What will it give us?
670.
670. Good guys. Now you have gotten it. We go back to our step and mark this is done. What do we do next?
Minus.
This is supposed to be a sign. We put the minus sign. Okay, let's go back in here and put the minus sign. We've done it. We come back again to the step. What next? Draw a line. We go back in here. We draw the line. We go back. We put good. Next, we are done the line, right? Good. Do the minus. Action. Do the minus. We come here. Do the minus.
2 minus 96
Is
2.
good.
8
Minus
Hey, you forgot something.
point.
Yeah, right. Then
8 minus 0 is 8.
good. Next,
7 minus 7 is 0.
we just leave it empty.
6 minus 6 is 0.
Good, we leave it empty, right? Now we got 8.2. Let's see what next. We go here, we put a good. We've done our minus. What's the next thing?
divide.
Divide. We come back here, we try to divide. What do we divide?
10 divided by 8.2.
Is it possible?
No.
So let's check. What does the rule says? We try to divide. It wasn't possible. So we say if it cannot be divided, you put a dot. Good. So it cannot be divided. Where do we put the dot? Good. We put a dot here. Right? What do you do next? We go back again. We put in our dot. Then after putting in the dot, if the number has a decimal, you put equal to. Okay? If the number has decimal, put equal to. Yes, it has decimal. This is decimal. Okay? So you put equal to. Alright, we've done it. What do we do next? We have done our equal to. We'll put our dot. Next thing, you move decimal 1 step to the right. Alright, we come here, we move it 1 step to the right, like this. That means it jumps this way. It is 8.2. It jumps 1 step to the right. It becomes what? 82, right? So we put our 82. Come back here. What do we do? We've done this.
Divide.
Right.
Divide. We come back here. We try to divide because you couldn't divide before. So we try to divide here. We say 10 divide by 82. Let's do our counting. We have 82 to divide by 10, right? So we need to count up to 82. We break it down by tens. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. Remainder 2. So we count it. How many times does 10 goes into 80?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Right? Good. So it gives us 8 times. Now we come back here. Where do we put our 8? Good. Put our 8 here. We go back, we mark what we did. We have done the divide, right? Next thing is multiply. Right?
Yes.
Okay. We multiply. So multiply, let's see.
8 times 10.
Yes, what? 80. 8 times 10 is 80. Sometimes, yeah, if you don't know, if you like, you can put your times here to keep reminding you. So 8 times 10 is 80. Then we go back and say we did the multiplication, we got 80, right? The next thing is you put your minus sign. You go back here, you put in your minus sign. You go back here, you put good, draw a line. You come back here, you draw your line. You come back again and put good. What is next now? You do the minus. You come back here and do the minus. 2. Oh, sorry. 2, right? Then
8 minus 8 is 0.
you just leave it empty. So we have done our minus. We put a good here. Next thing it says divide. So how do we divide? 10 divided by 2. We try 10 divided by 2. It cannot. So what does the rule say? It cannot. 10 divided by 2. It cannot. We have done it. It cannot. Add 0 to the number because there is no decimal point. Add 0, right? And you come back and look again. You put a good there. Next thing it says you still divide. Is it possible? Yes. 10 divided by 20 is what? Is what? 2. Where do we put the 2? Good. We got now 2 there. We put a good here. The next sign says multiply. Come back here. 2 is what?
20.
20. Right? We've gotten it. We're moving. We put a good at the multiplication. Did we
Minus sign.
put a minus sign? We put a good at the minus sign. You come to the next one. Draw a line. Come here, you draw the line. You check what to do next. Do the minus. Do the minus. Okay?
0 minus 0 is 0. 2 minus 2 is 0.
Once you get this, you are done. You've gotten your answer at 67.82. Great. You did wonderfully.